We're going to have to reconvene back into our Finance Committee meeting because we had an executive session. So at this time, we'll reconvene back into executive session and entertain a motion to adjourn Finance.
For the record, we came out of executive session at 7:15, and I'll make a motion to now adjourn Finance.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, Finance is adjourned. I'd like to welcome everybody back. This is our first council meeting back from our break. And we're glad to be back. I think everybody's well rested. We had a big finance agenda. It was only about 2 hours long. And we got a lot accomplished. And so I think that since we're back, we're going to have a great fall for everybody. So at this time, I'd like to call this first council meeting of August 26, 2024 to order. And we will start our Pledge of Allegiance here. So if you please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. And I know we have Dave Wetzel and the American Legion Post 202 in the audience. If you want to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, that'll be great. Thank you. And with that, we do have the American Legion Post 202 from Medina, Ohio, with Mr. Wetzel as the post commander. And Dave Taylor, if he'd come up, we have a special national award to give this evening.
Oh, this. Don.
Wait, let's have, they want to go behind and probably better.
Okay. I'd like to introduce myself, Dave Wetzel, and I am the commander of the American Legion of 202 right here in Medina. And we are the oldest memory, actually. The oldest service activity here by the veterans. Since 2000 and before I say that that wasn't the only thing, we also are here tonight to recognize a special man with a special award. Since 2017, our Legion Post has held a 4 chaplains ceremony in the city and in the churches around Medina. To honor the sacrifice that the 4 Army chaplains who gave their lives in World War II, and the same monument to live with others. These are some of the some of the people are not aware of the 4 chaplains, and it really started in the middle of World War II, when in February 1943, when a German submarine hit the American troop ship, the United States Dorchester, with a torpedo. The ship carried over 900 people on board, of which 750 were the GIs. They were moving up to Greenland to go ahead and into the war in Europe and Africa. At that particular time, they understood that there was really not enough both life jackets and lifeboats. The lifeboats, unfortunately, were, because the ship itself had started to already twist, and it ended up with 50% of the boats were unusable. At that point, the soldiers also were on the top, out of the boat itself, and getting ready to get on the boats that were available. The four chaplains were also there. They were calming the troops, and remember, those 750 men were probably in the area of 19, 20, 21, and 22. They were absolutely right off the training and into the war itself. The chaplains that gathered around and calmed everybody down and made sure that everybody had a life jacket and or got on a boat were, interestingly enough, they had a Catholic priest, a Jewish rabbi, a pastor of the Dutch Reformed Church, and fourth was a Methodist preacher. Each of those chaplains ended up giving up their own life jacket to soldiers that didn't have any. The ship actually sank in about 18 minutes, according to the log. There in the water, the folks that were in the water and were now moving away on the ships looked back, and as the Dorchester ended up sinking, the four chaplains gathered together with their arms together, all four of them, and ended up praying and singing as they literally went into the Atlantic Ocean. President Harry S. Truman remarked during the 1951 dedication to the National Four Chaplains more memorable and chaplain in Pittsburgh, in Philadelphia, PA. And his quote was, "As we can die heroically as brothers, and so can we live together in mutual faith and goodwill." Words today that could also help. Mayor Dennis Haswell has been with us each year that we have had the ceremonies here at various churches here in the Medina area. And basically, he taught us how to take a look at what this really meant to people here. Not only they had very, obviously, they were very strong, but what could we do to actually take the learnings and the information from then, and how do we apply it now to our own areas? Mayor Hanwell has made this community go and actually beyond what would normally be expected. He's established a collaborative effort with the Medina schools for IT and for the schools also for resource officers. He's established the Health Medina, a collaboration again to, for the effort of many organizations to ensure that the holding of the Veterans Day and among church and the various days of prayer, also service on different locations in the morning or the noon or the evening started. And he also helped started the Spokes Cafe in an effort of peace work and much, much more. Dennis Hanwell, actually, we're almost on the last. Dennis Hanwell is a leader, is in my estimation, is a hands-on guy. And he often has referred to the examples of the four chaplains, four men with very different backgrounds and faith came together in a time of great danger and died together saving others. Mayor Hanwell also reflects for that activity and at the end of every one of the various years that we've had this, he basically gives a rundown of about 3 or 4, just a few notes that he normally would give, and I'll leave those to him for later if he would so like to do. Police chief, 4 times elected mayor, a legacy that is well deserved. So tonight, I'm proud to announce that the National Four Chaplains Foundation has awarded Mayor Dennis Hanwell of Medina, Ohio, its Legion of Honor and Humanity Award. For all of this he's done for Medina. And I think everyone in this room and many people that don't know, you've done a terrific job, and thank you, sir. We respect everything that you do.
So my family's in trouble. I do appreciate the military here. One of my greatest honors was to be awarded several years ago the Veterans Advocate in the community. And I do not take responsibility for a lot of things that were read. What we have here with the council, with the county, with the administrative team is in our churches is a strong collaborative approach, and that's what's worked. That's the secret sauce in Medina, from Main Street to the chamber, to the city, to the county, and why we're so effective is everybody working together for common goals. Nobody worried about who's going to get the credit for it. And that's why I'm a little taken back, sir, with something like this. Because I'm not about the recognition, I'm about getting the work done, and I couldn't do that without the team and without the council. And God bless you all, and thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. You don't have to stay, but, you know,
You don't
council
have to
meetings are
leave.
awful fun. Okay, will the clerk please call the roll?
Hazeltine.
Present.
Rose.
Here.
Shields.
Here.
Simpson.
Here.
Coin.
Here.
DeSalvo.
Here.
Hare.
Here.
Reading of the minutes,
Mr. President,
Mr. Shields.
I move that the minutes of the regular meeting of July 8, 2024, as prepared and submitted by the clerk, be approved.
Second.
Any discussion on the minutes? Will the clerk please call the roll on the approval of the minutes?
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
DeSalvo. Yes. Hare.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Reports of standing committees. The Finance Committee kicked off this evening with a 2-hour meeting. It went great. We'll have another meeting in 2 weeks. Health, Safety, and Sanitation, Mr. Simpson.
Thank you, Mr. President. No meeting scheduled, nothing to report.
Public Properties, Mr. Shields.
Thank you, Mr. President. No meeting scheduled, no report this evening.
Special Legislation, Mr. Rose.
Thank you, Mr. President. No meeting scheduled and nothing to report.
Streets and Sidewalks, Ms. Hare.
Thank you, Mr. President. No scheduled meetings and nothing to report. Thank you.
Water and Utilities, Ms. Hazeltine.
Thank you, Mr. President. I got nothing. No meetings, no report.
Emerging Technologies, Ms. DeSalvo.
Thank you, Mr. President. No meeting scheduled and nothing new to report.
Okay, requests for council action. We have many this evening. 24-151, expenditure for RIS Web Services. 24-152, annual transfer request parking fund. 24-153, increase expenditure for air gas MCRC. 24-154, increase expenditure for Heritage OP Aquatics MCRC. 24-155, increase expenditure for Paul Davis Restoration fiscal year 20 CHIP project. 24-156, job creation grant payment, Carlisle Break and Fiction. 24-157, amend salaries and benefits code regarding payroll clerk classification job description. 24-158, Mass Parkway right-of-way dedication. 24-159, various zoning code amendments. 24-160, OHMAS specialized docket project funding for the veterans treatment. 24-161, grant application 2024 JAG grant, please. 24-162, established new celebration fund. 24-163, state bid MNJ Technologies computer laptop monitor replacement. 24-164, budget amendments. 24-165, purchase one 2024 F-150 service department. 24-166, expenditure for A&A Safety Inc. Street Department. 24-167, amend salaries and benefits code, add a full-time account clerk to the service department. 24-168, amend salaries and benefits code, add a full-time mother equipment operator, street department. 24-169, amend salaries and benefits code, add second FD full-time sanitation laborer. 24-170, 2024 city auction. 24-171, accept grant donation from Medina County Board of Developmental Disabilities. 24-172, EPA Brownfield Assessment Grant for the former Yost Sunoco property. 24-173, interurban building relocation and use. 24-174, cybersecurity grant application. 24-175, bids for the airport hangar apron improvements. 24-176, design discussion US 42 resurfacing. 24-177, design discussion North Huntington sidewalks. 24-178, utility easement for Legacy Hotel project. 24-179, expenditure agreement for Grail Inc. Fire Department cancer screening. And finally, 24-180, amend ordinance 95-23 to increase the estimated amount. That's on the next meeting, council meeting. If you'd like to come back, we'll discuss all those at the next council meeting. It'll be fun. All right, reports of municipal officers. Mayor Hamwell.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'd like to welcome back the council after the summer break. While you were on break, we had our 50th anniversary of the Art in the Park on the Square, Sunday, July 21st. I presented a proclamation recognizing the Medina County Art League for hosting it for the past 50 years. I also took part this year in issuing the awards with the Medina County Art League members. Two of the artists were actually recognized as they were at the very first Art in the Park as well as the 50th, and that included our local resident, Elaine Lamb. Congratulations to the Medina County Art League as well as the participating winners of this year's Art in the Park. School summer break ended with our students returning on Monday, August 19th. I'd like to thank the street department who painted the school warning signs and crosswalks in the area of school prior to the students' return, and just ask the public to be attentive and careful during the students' arrival and departure times to keep the children safe. The State of the City to Council will be on September 9th at 6:30 p.m. and then to the Chamber the following day at 11:30 a.m. at Williams on the Lake. There's an upcoming 9/11 memorial ceremony that will be held at the memorial, which is the south side of Medina Fire Station number 1, located behind Regal Cinema. And that'll be on Wednesday, 9/11. They gather at 9:50 a.m. and start promptly at 10 a.m. And last but not least, I'd like to mention that it's Chris and my anniversary of 46 years, and she...
Congratulations, Chris. That's a long time.
She couldn't think of a better place to spend it than at a council meeting.
I can agree with that. Thank you. Mr. Durham, Director of Finance.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to remind everybody, the city has a property tax levy on this fall. It is a renewal levy for the EMS. The way that works is the local ambulance services called the Life Support Team, Medina Life Support Team. It's a partnership between the city, the hospital, and Montville and Medina Townships. The city has paid for our share of this since the 70s through property tax levies. This is a renewal at about $71 per $100,000 of valuation, no increase, and that will be voted on this fall.
Thank you. Mr. Huber, Law Director.
Thank you, Mr. President. I don't have any report, and Dennis, congratulations and many thanks for what you do.
Mrs. Marshall, Economic Development Director.
Thank you, Mr. President. Welcome back. The City of Medina Economic Development Office is going to begin publishing a newsletter designed to link job seekers with those Medina businesses that are hiring. The new publication will be called Medina Talent Search and will include both full-time and part-time employment opportunities. As you know, we are always out talking to companies and businesses and workforce. Finding the right workforce is always a challenge. And currently in our city newsletter, we really only have the room to highlight one business a week, so we thought this would be a nice supplement to our weekly newsletter. We hope that businesses, as well as those looking for employment, will sign up to receive this new newsletter. And to receive the newsletter, you can just go to the city website, and I think Jared has it up there, at www.medinaoh.org, and sign up by clicking the Workforce Newsletter link at the bottom of the page. The first issue will be published in early September. If you are a business that would like to utilize this resource, you can contact my office, either myself or Sarah Tome at stome@medinaoh.org. The Economic Development Department's weekly city newsletter will still be published again, it comes out on Friday, and we'll have all the different events. It's been very popular. We currently have over 2,700 subscribers at this time. So we are hoping that the Medina Talent Search will be successful in filling the needs of our employers and also serving as a resource for those who are looking for employment. That's my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Chief Kinney, Police Department.
Thank you, Mr. President. Recently, we've had an unusual increase in vehicle versus pedestrian accidents in the square. I'd like to share some tips for pedestrians and drivers with the hope of minimizing some of these accidents. Crosswalk safety is crucial for both pedestrians and drivers to prevent accidents and ensure a safe environment for everybody. For drivers, you must yield to pedestrians while they are in the crosswalk. It is the law. You don't have a choice there. You must yield to pedestrians in the crosswalk. Observe speed limits. Drive within the posted speed limit as you're coming through the square or anywhere where crosswalks or high pedestrian traffic is present. Always be aware of crosswalks. If you're coming through an intersection and you see crosswalks, be prepared to stop for pedestrians. Don't block the crosswalks. Always check for pedestrians. Use your turn signal so people know where you're going and pedestrians can forecast where you're going. Slow down at the intersections. It's important to navigate the square at the proper speed. Avoid distractions. Most importantly, avoid distractions. Keep your focus on the road. Be alert to your surroundings. Put your phone down. Pay attention to what's going on around you. For pedestrians, use the crosswalks, always. Always obey the signals. We have plenty of safety signals in the square, whether it be signs or the lights. They're designed to keep you safe as a pedestrian. I recommend trying to make eye contact with any drivers that are in the area as you're trying to cross the street. Stay alert. You as a pedestrian should also avoid any distractions such as your telephone or listening to music while you're crossing the streets. Cross quickly but safely and be cautious with turners. Be aware that drivers might not see you in the crosswalk as they're turning. Some additional steps we're taking to increase safety include increased patrols and enforcement in the area of the square, which we've been doing for the past several weeks. Also, a potential for increased penalties for crosswalk violations is being researched. Furthermore, the city engineer is also researching additional design options to improve safety at our crosswalks in the square. That's it for crosswalk safety. Next, the municipal hunting program is in full swing. We are accepting applications for that program. The season starts September 28th and goes to February 2nd of 2025. You can go to medinaoh.org, navigate to the police department's website to find out information with regards to that. There's an application packet there. You can also come to the police department lobby and get a application packet there as well. Lieutenant Markham is the point of contact for that program, so you can drop those applications off here at the police department or contact him with any questions. And additionally, congratulations on your recognition, Mayor. It's well deserved. That's all I have.
Thank you. Commissioner Gladys, Building Official.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report.
Mr. Bacoli, Service Director.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report.
Mr.
Other than
Patton,
congratulations
City
to the mayor. Sorry.
Oh,
Congratulations to the mayor, one of many honors, and congratulations on their anniversary, 46 years. It's a long time.
Mr. Patton, City Engineer.
Thank you, Mr. President. Just a reminder, our citywide concrete street repair project is still continuing. Currently, crews are working in the southeast and southwest quadrants of the city. We expect that to continue and be completed within 3 to 4 weeks. Thank you.
Chief Walters, Fire Department.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report.
Mr. Dutton, Planning and Community Development Director.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have no report.
Thank you. Notices, communications, or confirmation of mayor's appointments, there's none. Notices, communication petitions, none. Well, yeah, there is. Liquor permit, not to object to the issuance of a new D5 permit to Recovery Center of Medina County doing business as Serenity Restaurant and Porch and Patio, 538 West Liberty Street.
Move not to object.
Second, not to object.
Discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
DeSalvo. Yes. Hare.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Unfinished business, there's none. Introduction of visitors. Members of the public who are permitted the opportunity to speak on any issue or concern which pertains to the city during the portion of the council agenda devoted to introduction of visitors. All comments are directed to the chair, and a reasonable time limit of approximately 5 minutes will be imposed. If there's a group, please appoint a spokesperson. Speakers should approach the rear microphone and state their name and address so it can be entered into the minutes. Members of the public will be afforded the opportunity to comment On other portions of the meeting is determined by the chair or by a vote of majority of council members present. Is there anybody that wishes to address council at this time? We have one, all right.
Thank you guys for coming back after your little summer break. Just one comment and then a question. Tammy Kirby, 246 West Friendship Street. The comment first is thanks for continuing all the efforts that have been put in for the Yost Sunoco property and the other brownfield items that we have in Medina, but that one's been along, and I greatly appreciate everybody that has been participating and trying to move forward with that property and making it more useful. The other one is a question about our Airbnbs, and we talked about an ordinance earlier in finance. The question is, if short-term rentals, if there is an issue at the property that maybe the police have to be called, do the property owners get notified immediately, or is that an after fact? Does that work, and how is that different from a regular long-term rental?
Chief?
Yeah, if we were there and we were able to identify it was an Airbnb or a VRBO and there was an issue with the tenants, we would contact the owner immediately
Okay.
and probably ask them to kick them out
And-
immediately.
And how is that different than from a regular long-term rental?
It really isn't.
Okay.
Yeah, oftentimes we have issues with rentals, whether it's drug use, loud music, noise. We, as a matter of policy, contact the landlords
Okay, because
and have a
the
discussion.
question had been presented to me because somebody said there was like 3 or 4 visits of the police to a rental before the property owner would be notified. And so I'm bringing the question to,
Yeah, I
getting
wouldn't say we
answer.
would contact the
Yeah.
property owner on a long-term rental for every single situation.
Right.
But if something becomes a nuisance,
okay,
then we would contact the
Okay.
property owner and work with them to try and abate the nuisance or work on an eviction process.
okay. So we have no difference between a short-term Airbnb and a regular,
Well, we do, because it's a short time, we probably have lower tolerance.
right,
with the-
right, you have a lower time frame or lower
Sure.
tolerance. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else that wishes to address council at this time? Okay, introduction and consideration of ordinances and resolutions. At this time, I'd entertain a motion to suspend the rules requiring 3 readings on the following ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance 141-24, Resolution 142-24, Resolution 143-24, Ordinance 144-24, 145-24, and 147-24.
Mr. President,
Mr. Shields?
I'll make a motion to suspend the rules requiring 3 readings of tonight's ordinances and resolutions with the exception of 146-24, which will be the first reading only.
Second.
Any discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Motion passes 7-0.
Ordinance 141-24, an ordinance to approve, adopt, and enact current replacement pages to the codified ordinances of the city of Medina, Ohio.
Move to approve?
Second.
Discussion? This is just our annual adoption to codify the ordinances and put them in the big book that we have. Every year we do this, so this is just the ordinance to permit that to occur. Any questions? Will the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of the ordinance?
Coin.
Yes.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Ordinance 141-24 passes 7-0.
Resolution 142-24, a resolution authorizing the mayor to file an application for grant assistance with the Federal Highway Administration, FHWA, for a planning study through their Safe Streets and Roads for All SS4A program.
Move to approve?
Second.
Discussion? Patrick?
Thank you. As we discussed in finance earlier in the summer, this grant will pay for a planning study. That planning study will review all the city's accident data and basically prioritize the hot spots in our city and also offer projects that suggest projects that could address those. The biggest thing about this study is once it's completed, it opens the door to access to, I think there's $3 billion or something like that in federal money available to pay for these projects. So that's kind of the goal as to why we want to do this study now. We submitted this back in July before the break, knowing that when we came back, we'd have to ask for the emergency clause because the grant application is due August 29th.
Okay, so you want the emergency clause?
Correct.
Okay.
I
Shields?
I will amend my motion to include the emergency clause.
My second will also include the emergency clause.
Wait, oh, is there a resolution? I'm sorry. We take that back. You don't need an emergency clause because resolutions go in effect automatically.
Never mind.
Just kidding.
But we appreciate your efforts.
We swear we know what we're doing.
It's very good. Is there any further discussion on the resolution? Will the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of the resolution?
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Point.
Yes.
Resolution 14224 passes 7-0.
You see, they test us the first meeting back to, because we're all just not with it yet, and they try to throw things at us. Resolution 14324, resolution authorizing an application for grant assistance from the State of Ohio, Ohio Public Works Commission relative to the Issue 1 and LTIP program funding.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? Mr. Patton.
Thank you. This one is also due within the next couple weeks, but I'm not going to ask for the rest.
like
Right. Internally, we met with the service director, the mayor, our street superintendent, and the engineering department, and discussed several potential projects. The one we're going to recommend to council is a reconstruction of East Smith Road between, it's 2 blocks East Smith between Jefferson and Harmony. Several reasons. As you remember, we did a pavement management program a couple years ago, and these blocks were among the lowest in the city in terms of traffic volume. Secondly, there is a storm sewer issue down there that we'd like to address with this project that will benefit an area much larger than this. Project is budgeted at $1,525,000. This grant will pay for $530,000 of that.
Okay. Any questions? Will the clerk please call the roll?
Hare.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Point.
Yes.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Resolution 14324 passes 7-0.
Ordinance 14424, an ordinance authorizing the finance director to make certain fund transfers.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion, Mr. Durham.
Thank you, Mr. President. This is a transfer to the parking fund. The revenues in that fund aren't sufficient, so we do an annual transfer to cover the difference.
Further discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of ordinance?
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Point.
Yes.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Ordinance 14424 passes 7-0.
Ordinance 14524, an ordinance amending ordinance number 10624 passed May 28th, 2024, petition special assessments for Legacy Hotel of Medina LLC.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion? This is just we passed the a special assessment that the property owner is going to assess themselves, and it goes on their tax roll. They didn't have the interest rate and number that they were going to be assessed, and that finally came in. So all we're doing is making a modification to that ordinance, adding those numbers that the property owner will be assessed going forward. So that's only really what we're doing here. We already did the ordinance. This just puts the numbers in because we didn't have them. Is there any further discussion? Will the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of the ordinance?
Rose.
Yes.
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Point.
Yes.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Ordinance 14524 passes 7-0.
Ordinance 14624. Mr. Shields?
Mr. President, I'll make a motion that ordinance 14624 be put before council for consideration only and discussion without a vote. First reading.
Second.
Ordinance 14624, an ordinance amending the codified ordinance of the City of Medina, Ohio by the addition of a new Chapter 164, Transient Lodging Tax. On the discussion of that, I guess I'll have Mr. Rose talk about it, because that came from you.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, I asked for this to be, go through the normal process of 3 readings to make sure that anybody and everybody who cared to comment about this can. This is their opportunity. Basically, this is an opportunity that is afforded to us by the State of Ohio revised code. We are allowed up to 3%. The cities of Wadsworth and Brunswick are doing it now on their hotels, and this is part of another way to increase the tax flow into the city without increasing the tax rate. I don't have the numbers in front of me, but we can collect as much as $100,000 in a year based on their 68 or 66% occupancy rate, should that come to fruition. So thank you for all the input from everybody here with the way we worked out some of the differences and issues, especially instead of earmarking the money, putting it into the general fund, and then deciding for where it should go after that, so.
Yes, and I think we discussed, the goal of council would be to use the money generated near the hotel that the money was generated from to, make the area more attractive and to keep things very nice and neat, to try to encourage others that come into our community to use those facilities, the hotels that are generating a tax. So that should be a good thing. Any further discussion on the first reading? All right, ordinance 14724, an ordinance amending ordinance number 19023, passed November 28, 2023, amendments to the 2024 budget.
Move to approve.
Second.
Discussion, Mr. Durham.
Thank you, Mr. President. There's a slew of amendments here. We discovered these at finance. If there's any questions.
We like it. Anybody have any questions on it?
Nope.
Will the clerk please call the roll on the adoption of ordinance?
Shields.
Yes.
Simpson.
Yes.
Coin.
Yes.
DeSalvo.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Hazeltine.
Yes.
Rose.
Yes.
Ordinance 147-24 passes 7-0.
Council comments. Mr. Simpson.
Thank you, Mr. President. First, congratulations to Mayor Hanwell on your honor that you received tonight. Congratulations to you and Chris on your anniversary. The only other thing I would say was, since we had people, veterans from our armed services here, we are at a point in time in our country that we just finished the Republican National Convention, the Democratic National Convention, and there's issues on both sides that people would probably want to comment on that I don't want to hear. Pros or cons on either one of them. The only thing I ask you that you think about is how fortunate we are in this country to have so many issues that we all agree on. That it's a common thing, like supporting our military. I don't know anybody that doesn't support our military. Loving our families, supporting the First, Second Amendment. We just have so much more in common than that we disagree on. So during this upcoming election season, I ask people to remember that. And when you're in discussions with family members or friends or the public, just remember that it's okay to disagree with somebody. Just do it respectfully and be kind to one another. That's it. Thank you.
Ms. Hare.
Glad to be back here tonight, but want to comment on how fast the summer went. As a result, we're now into the school season, and there's a lot more traffic that I see on the roads coming into town or cut-throughs on the way to the various schools. So please be careful when you're driving. Expect there's going to be kids there. Again, I'm seeing more deer now than I've ever seen. So between the kids and the cars and the deer, please pay attention and be careful. Thank you.
Ms. Hazeltine?
I guess I just want to say we may not always agree, but in this case, congratulations, Mayor, a very well-deserved honor, so congratulations.
Mr. Shields?
A couple of things. Congratulations, Mayor. Congratulations, Chris, your anniversary, and Mayor.
Oh, yeah, that too. I forgot.
And I want to invite everybody, Councilperson Hare and myself will be hosting a Ward 3 and Ward 4 meeting a week from tomorrow. It was September 3rd at 7 p.m. at Ella Canavan, 825 Lawrence Street. There's a large parking lot on the south end of the building, and the doors that enter into the commons area there will be where we'll be holding that meeting. We want to invite everybody to that. The administration, council will all be there to answer questions. So look forward to seeing everybody there next Tuesday.
Mr. Rose?
Thank you, Mr. President. Dennis, thank you. Congratulations for everything. It's a well-deserved award. Chris? Congratulations, 46 years. That is a mark. To Chief Kenny and the police department, thank you for the extra patrols. Joel and I were on the square Saturday night for the concert. There were at least 4 pullovers while we were in the 2 hours or so that we were there. So even the police cars were like right there. You couldn't miss them, and so people just aren't paying attention while they're driving. So congratulations. Hopefully we get the message out. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I don't know. I've thrown this out a couple of times to other people, and with all this going on, and I think we can do it with just paint and light timings and no construction, but maybe it's time to start thinking about making the square a traffic circle. going around the circle somehow. And just leave the square as it is, just change the paints and the lights, and maybe we can accomplish it. Start thinking about it. Okay, thank you.
All right, Mrs. Silva, you have anything?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you for your service, Val. We really appreciate it. And then with the advent of school starting, there's also going to be a lot of new drivers out there. So if we can all make sure that we set a good example for those young drivers as they set out, and make sure that we do not have our phones out so they can see that the appropriate way to be in the car is without their phone. Thank you.
Thank you. I just want to welcome everybody back, and let's get to work. Meeting adjourned.